This might be one of the shortest videos on this channel, despite the game that we are going to talk about is one of the actually biggest in the gaming history. Of course I'm talking about The Last of Us Part 1 that was recently released on Steam, and oh boy, it is going all down here. Not only for the Sony, but overall for the industry, because this is actually a very important part here, that Sony actually failed. Yes, we have successes with God of War, where the game has been ported and it's still one of the best games even on PC after being 2 years later, but this is not the case with Last of Us. Something is wrong here, and you will actually realize it even if you have the biggest and the best hardware that you can find on the market right now. PC can't run this game, and it's not because of the game asks you so much and to make it look good and you're trying it with RTX with everything on. It just something is wrong with optimization. It feels like Sony or whoever was working on this, because it doesn't even worth to mention which company actually worked exactly on this port. Or is it? Write down in the comments below, should we put all the blame on the company or on the Sony? Because in the end of the day, Sony knows what kind of product they're releasing. Anyway, let's stick to what is wrong with Last of Us. Well, first of all, in this review, I'm not going to speak anything about the storyline of the game or the way how the graphics look, because the graphics is obviously amazing. Even with a middle of kind of like settings, you can see that the graphics looks great. There is something is wrong here with the way how the game runs after you set the way of the how you would prefer to play the game. That's the biggest problem here. The other thing that is not worth to mention, like I said, is the storyline, because if you played or if you've seen the videos on YouTube, which I would actually recommend to play the game maybe in the way of the walkthrough on some of the channels on YouTube, it would actually give you a better idea, because the Last of Us overall in the hands of a really good player can look like a movie and would be very interesting, especially if you're watching the movie at the same time from HBO right now. It would be a really great experience watching the game and at the same time watching the movie. You can compare both of them, but you cannot compare the console and PC, or especially the Steam version, between those two games. So The Last of Us was released and it has really negative reviews on Steam. I'm not gonna read all of them here, but people are saying that the reviews, and I actually agree on that. The game runs terrible. After accumulating nearly 3,000 reviews, players have regular crashes, significant performance issues. This is surprising considering Sony's decent reputation on PC actually. And once again, I need to say this because God of War was great. So what went wrong here? Games such as Marvel, Spider-Man, also Days Gone actually been also very good as the port from PlayStation 4, allowing players to match console settings, even surpass with the powerful PC, in the case of Marvel Spider-Man. The Last of Us Part 1 should have been shining jewel for Sony's PC crown, as it was long planned to have a PC port. We all knew this, as one of the Sony's most prestigious franchises. However, despite all of this remake, graphical improvements, the game is ultimately decade-old game design from PlayStation 3. To play game with ultra settings and 4K, you'll need to top offline PC with an RTX 3070 Ti. The game still auto-connected to high settings as to, let's say, 1540, which is really terrible. If you have anything below that, it will be difficult to hit locked 60 FPS and 3010p, significant graphical cutback. The experience is still playable at medium settings with locked 30 FPS, which we always kind of like discussed that consoles are worse than PC because you have 30 FPS. Well, in reality, the console game comes to PC and it's literally destroyed. Not because PC can't run it, it's because the company who does it, for some reason, make it this way. It's really strange. But it's far below PlayStation 5 version. Anything below that is not recommended. In fact, a hair more powerful than the minimum specs listed, the game would require low settings across the board and resolution drops to 720p, which is something that is crazy when you have a quite good graphical cards. On top of that, even systems that are capable of running games and experiencing several issues, serious as some crashes, freezing, and desynchronized audio, even that is wrong. Jittery mouse movement, texture bugs, animation glitches, long loading times, and constant mirror shutters in camera movements. This level of performance is unacceptable and is not what we would expect from Sony and Naughty Dog. Iron Galaxy, who developed the game, and some extent it has worked successful ports such as Metroid, Primus Mastered, and Uncharted Legacy by the way. They did it last year, which was good. What went wrong here? Drop in the comments your experience with the game. Like this video if you agree with what we are saying here. However, I think you will love the game if you will somehow play it on PlayStation 4 even, which is something strange. Well, I'll see you in the next video, and I hope it will be more possible and positive.